What's up, everybody? Working on the Mustang today. Swapping out the Napa Legend battery for XS Power D4700. The batteries are pretty much identical in width and lengthwise, but the XS Power battery is about a half an inch taller than the Napa Legend battery, which I'm not real sure what model it is. I don't know if it says. Does it say? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's a stock OEM sized battery. The strap doesn't work for some reason. It's a little not for some reason, but it's a little short for this because it's a little taller. But this does clear the hood. It does make contact a little bit up here in the corner, and but there's plenty of push up on that, so that's not a problem with hood clearance. This car doesn't like the battery being disconnected, so I rigged up this real redneck hot lead. Of course, this is still hot. I've got it bagged up so it don't short out anywhere. But I got a ground there and a positive there hooked up to a little used Polaris AGM battery. I wouldn't definitely not try starting the car, but it does keep enough to power the dome lights, so that's a plus. But yeah, I'm swapping that out for the D4700 and going to start running my 4 gauge for my Punch 501. That's out of my was out of my Cobalt. I bought this back from from the guy I traded. A little dirty there. Got some pieces of speaker. But yeah, it's a Punch 501. I'm gonna go ahead and use this to power my door speakers. With the 2 at 1 ohm, they're rated to handle 400 watts RMS, so I'm just going to turn this down a tad. This gets hot anyways, so I'm probably going to mount this in the factory location for the up in the kick panel for the shaker amps. I'm going to remove both of them. I'm thinking about using the 304 for my door speakers, but I'm probably not going to install that right now. I'm really thinking about installing that where the jug's falling down, where the airbag control module was. Cutting a piece of metal out and installing that where that was. It's a track car, you know, so no airbags. Just kidding. But I don't want airbags in this car. Like I said, I had that accident. The airbags don't function correctly anyways, and they are not been done from the recall, so they're them lovely shrapnel throwers. So yeah. And I've seen cases, I've been around it personally, that I've almost seen airbags do more damage than they have good. So I'm not a big fan of airbags. But anyways, I would recommend airbags daily. This is kind of a daily. It's a daily, but it's not really a daily. I drive the Escalade more than I drive this. I've been driving this a lot lately because it's fun. But I'm going to have to drive the Escalade because it's not as apt to get me in trouble as this. But yeah. So yeah, I'm swapping that battery out. I'm thinking about running my 4 gauge across the back and going down in that hole that I sound deadened the other day. It goes inside right down by where the amp is going to be installed. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Or I know how I'm going to do it, but I don't know if I want to do that or take this battery box out and go in the factory loom down there. First things first, I got to figure out how to get this strap unhooked. I got to pop this little retainer off and pull the strap out of this, because this holds down the battery. This plastic clamp does good enough. I mean, it wedges it. I think Ford put that on there as just a little extra precaution. I don't know if that's a pop rivet down there or a bolt or not. I may pull the battery tray out and take a peek, because if I can take a strap and build my own strap, I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'm not afraid of making my own strap. Hold my battery in a little bit better in case of an accident. But yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'll probably cut the camera back on so I can show you where I'm at on my fuse and what decision I went with on mounting the or routing my power cord and how I did the strap, if I do anything to the strap. But yeah, the D47 does fit. The excess power D47 does fit. So if anybody wants to upgrade to an excess power battery, I would recommend this battery. I can't remember what the model part number was I used for the terminals. They're just the standard top post terminals. They're the short ones, not the long ones. So yeah, if anybody needs to know that. Of course, smaller negative, bigger positive, bigger positive. So just your typical battery. I don't know what the cold cranking amps are on this battery. Cold cranking amps 740. Cold cranking amps of this battery 745. So they're very close. The excess power obviously is a little bit better, but not a lot. And the cold cranking amps, but the max amps is 2900 amps, 50 amp hour, 105 minute I can't remember, recharge or recycled or whatever it is. But this will be a better battery in the long run. I think this battery, when it gets cold, it's also a later of a 15 battery. Or it's in April. No. September 15. So yeah, and I never did pop out which of this one is. I might look back, means I purchased this, I believe, off Amazon. I'll go ahead and look back when I received it and mark that month off, so I know how new this battery is. But yeah, it spent most of its time in the trunk of the Cobalt, so it should be pretty good still. And I mean, I drove the Cobalt pretty regularly, and of course the only thing it was powering was the 500 and the 300 and the head unit, so in the car, of course. But yeah, so nothing real power hungry. I don't think I should have a problem with power in this car. Of course, if I do, I'll upgrade the alternator, but I doubt for a 500 watt and a 300, I should be all right. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna use that 300 because it's got a lot of feedback. I don't know if that would just happen to be that system on that, or just happen to be the way that was wired in that car, or if it's that amplifier. I'll probably do some bench testing with it. I might take it home and do some bench testing with it. It shouldn't be nothing real problematic. I do need to get some new ends so I can put some RCAs on them. I'll probably just resolder the RCAs back on them, or buy new ends if I can get them for Rockford. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put this stuff in, and I'll cut you guys back on in a minute when I get that all routed. So yeah, catch you guys in a second. Okay guys, we are back, and yeah, I've just got this kind of laid out a little bit the way I want it. I got the battery in, fully in. I got my fuse block right here, and the fuse comes up from the bottom, so water will run down it and it won't get full of water if there's water up here for some reason. Let me go ahead and put my fuse panel on. But I started digging in. I've already removed my factory 500 shaker amplifiers, the little micro amplifiers right here. I removed them. But like I said in the previous video, or videos, one of the two, I can't remember, one of the few I've done on this car, this car had damage on this side. It was obviously T-boned at this point, I know, guaranteed. T-boned hard, too. First of all, I've been here taking the tweeters out that are up here. They're just tapped into the factory speaker harness down there, some electrical tape. They use electrical tape there. They use blue painter's tape up here to hold that connection together. So I'll probably go ahead and pop them out and have 3 holes in each panel. I'll have to get some different ones of them. But as you guys can see, some real booger welds there. I just had this carpet up and I'd let you see some booger welds, but there's drywall screws holding the carpet down because the clippies are all broken. I finished breaking that clippy, which doesn't matter, but I mean, I think, yeah, you can see some of the booger welds down here. Yeah, let's go ahead and pop this. There's a hole. No, that's glass. Never mind. There's still glass in here. I thought it was a hole. I was like, what? No, but there's booger welds down there. As you guys can see, some booger welds. I'll try to get some light that ain't ridiculous. Booger welds. Look at that booger weld. Woo! There's booger welds there. As you guys can see, booger welds. There's a hole there. We'll definitely have to clean that up a little bit. Yeah, eventually in the summertime or springtime when the weather gets nice, I'm going to pull the whole interior out of this car and go through it and seam seal some stuff that needs seam sealed. Maybe grind some welds off and re-weld some stuff and put some sound deadener down, because this poor car This poor car, man. I mean, this is Earl Schrey's 1995 kind of job here. I mean, I'm fine with that. That's not a problem. That don't bug me very much at all. If I wanted to, I can replace this. I believe this is one piece that comes off. And I believe you can replace that. That doesn't bug me. Neither does the headliner being crinkled either. But I want it to be structurally right. And I want to pull this apart and make sure the car isn't splitting apart anywhere. I mean, these booger welds probably are holding, and a few of them look like they have decent penetration, but I got the floor is kind of damp up here. It's not wet, like I don't have standing water in it, but I want to figure out why it's wet. Clean everything off real good. And just get it, my rear window leaks and my trunk leaks on this side. I'd like to figure out why it does that and get that stopped. And I'm definitely going to get this wiring sorted out, because this isn't the first hack job wiring that I've seen in this car. That's the disappointment right there. Damn, automatic. But yeah, I got my 4200 NEX in. I got my Grant steering wheel in. You've seen in the previous video on how to do that. Put the 010 plus. For some reason there we go. The focus was out of focus. That looks good in the car. I like it. But yeah, I'm going ahead and just taking this stuff out right now. Maybe I can. Oh yeah, more. Hold on. Where's my light? There's my light down here. Where's it? There it is. Ah. This is. Look at that. That's not horrible, but I'm trying to get it to where you guys can see. There you go. There's one clippy hole. That's the only clippy hole that really holds. But I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, it may be. Yeah, there you guys can. Look at that. That is a chunk gone. That is a substantial chunk of inner body that is gone. I mean, that's not horrible. That's not horrible. They've beat it out with a hammer a lot. I can see that. I mean, I don't understand. There's some hammer marks up in there. This car definitely needed to be having a salvage title. This is not cool. Some of this stuff is just sad. Actually, a lot of this stuff is just sad. Like I said, I'm gonna pull everything down, and we're gonna go over a good look at this car and do a good overview and see just how bad the damage is. And yeah, this car might be bound determined for a finding a base model GT or maybe a V6 car that's got a clean title that hasn't been in any wrecks. I'd like to find a car that's got a clean title and no any accident. This car has no accident history either, so you're opening up a can of worms on all of them. But I'd like to find an automatic V6 car, maybe swap everything over, that the body's not totally destroyed in the areas that kind of just concern me. Underneath there is a total disaster area as well. I finally got the rocker. I had that fall off going to work the other day, and I finally got it back on to the point where it's not stupid loose. It's not horrible. It's a lot better than it was. But yeah, I don't have front mud flaps anymore. They came off when I did that. I had to re-plastic dip them black. But yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this stuff off. And I will probably end the video here. All I'm going to do is pretty much run that wire across and just roll it up in the corner there and let it hang out for a while. It's not going to have a fuse in it. It won't be hot or anything. So that won't be a problem. I'm going to test fit my 500 punch amplifier down there and just check out. I may put my 300 and the 500 down there. It all depends. I don't want to put a lot of weight in this car because it is quick. I'd like to keep a lot of the quickness in it without having a whole bunch of big bulky stereo in it. So, and I just want something that sounds good. And that 500 definitely will make the door speaker sound good. And that should be enough punch for this car. So, but yeah, like I said, summer rolls around. We are going to pull this car apart and take a peek at it and do some fixing, because there's some shit in this that just ain't right. But yeah, just want to get the leaks fixed. I think it's structurally pretty good. I definitely will look and make sure none of the welds are breaking. And if they are, I'll brace it or whatnot. I'm definitely going to subframe connect the car. Just because from what I've seen, I know I'm not going to be pushing much more power than the stock the stock 4.6. It probably get a cam, maybe intake. headers, cams, and intake. That might be about it. Maybe cold air intake, of course. Ford Racing intake that gets rid of the valves in there, and some cams, hopefully. I don't like I said, I don't want to go stupid nuts on this car because of that damage. My plan is, I don't know if I let anybody in on my plan. My plan is, in a few years down the road, when I put a decent amount of miles on this car, I want to take this car, and at this point, knowing what I know about it, I probably won't sell it to anybody else. I'll either beat the ever-living shit out of it, but I'll either do that, or I will either part it out of what's good. But what my plan is to find a really nice lower mileage, like 50,000-ish 08 GT around this 05 to 09, preferably in this body style, and take all of my stuff that I've done to it, like the Boss wheels. I love the Boss wheels on this car. They would go over to the new GT. I'd like to have a 5-speed manual GT and have my manual. Obviously, my steering wheel would go over. The full stereo would go over. If I get my seats and stuff that I'd like to get, they would go over as well. A lot of the interior would go over. Just basically take my parts that I'm putting into this car and put it onto the next car that's a solid, clean car. I like this car. This has made me a believer into a Mustang, so I'm not going to say for having the damage that it does, it is definitely still a fun car. I mean, it still looks good, especially, I mean, the paint underneath is trash, underneath the plastic dip, but with the plastic dip, it looks good. It's a very sharp car with the plastic dip, I think. I mean, a lot of you guys probably say, this thing looks like shit, but I like it. It's a very screaming white. I'm thinking about vinyl wrapping it. I'm not going to put the money into painting it unless I tear everything apart and it's still structurally good. It just looks bad on the inside. I'm definitely going to clean it up, fix it. I'd like to get black carpet because I think black carpet would two-tone this really nice. So I got black floor mats and they look good in there, so I'd like to two-tone that black carpet because a lot of stuff in the interior is black. A lot of it's the medium Dove. Just kind of get some new carpet, especially if I clean everything up and get the leaks fixed. There's probably a gallon of Bondo in that rear quarter panel that's eventually going to fall out too, so we got to keep that in mind as well. I've seen down in it, I don't think it's too horrible in the Bondo down in there, but I know there's been a quarter panel from about there forward replaced. So like I said, this is all Bondo down in here. If you look, you really can't tell, there's a Bondo in here, as you guys can see. Bondo, or that may not be Bondo, that may just be flat disc marks maybe from buffing the welds down. I don't know, that looks like Bondo to me. Let's see here, what the hell. I'm not, hold on, let me switch hands here. Prepare to have some vibrations. But yeah, let's go ahead and irritate. Come on, focus. Focus, there you go. Bondo. Oh, it's not seeing it, but that's Bondo. So yeah, there's a lot of Bondo over here. That feels like metal. I don't know why they Bondoed that. Well, they just throw some paint on that and call it good, because you don't really need to Bondo that. That's covered by that panel right there. What the hell, guys? I mean, I am also still missing my seat adjuster on this side. But yeah, that's not a real concern. The poor car needs vacuumed, but yeah. So I know, I gotta get out of here, guys. I gotta get this put together and mock up, see how my amps look, and then go ahead and get out of here for the night because it's getting late. Probably won't work on it tomorrow. It's supposed to be kind of crappy, and I don't really want to drive it in the crap, so I want to keep the parts of the car that are solid and structurally sound intact. So yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Hope you enjoyed. This has been kind of a long video, but yeah, catch you guys in the next video.